Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. On today's show, will the Soaring Sixers roll all the way to the NBA Finals? Plus, Matt Leinart joins the show to break down the top quarterback prospects ahead of Thursday's draft. And does Tom Brady look like a sore loser for not congratulating Nick Foles after the Super Bowl? Skip, Shannon, let's get to it. A rough night for me and Skip last night, but let's get started with the Sixers. They finished off the Heat last night, 104-91. And are moving on to the second round. Joel Embiid had 19 points and 12 rebounds, and Ben Simmons added 14 points and 10 boards. It was the Sixers' first playoff series win since 2012. After the game, Dwayne Wade called Simmons and Embiid the, quote, future of the NBA. So, Shannon?
Did you see that last night?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, I saw Roy. You saw Roy? You saw Roy, right?
Oh. I'm thinking about what's going to happen in two more series, but go ahead.
Will
Joy.
the Sixers win the East, Shannon?
Will they? I got the Cavs. I had the Cavs in
You
the
had the
beginning.
Cavs.
I'm going to stick with them currently. Now, they do look very, very impressive. And when you have guys, now they didn't shoot the three ball particularly well last night,
Not
other
at
than
all.
J.J. Redick.
Woof.
But Skip, they get so many contributions from so many other guys. Covington gives you double-digit points. Embiid was 19 and 12, 27 for Redick, 14, 10 and 6 for Roy. So when you get that kind of production, and you get Bellinelli came off the bench and gave you another 11. So when you get that kind of production, it makes it hard. What makes the Sixers so difficult to guard, Skip, is that when they knock down those threes, you guard the line. Now that means someone. And no one is as big and as skilled as Joel Embiid in the East. Well, no one in the NBA. None of the current teams have a guy that can handle him one-on-one in the low block. So they're going to be very difficult to guard. And because they're so big, 6'10 or above on the front line, they take up a lot of space. That's why they're so good defensively. But you know what they do better than anybody else, Skip? They rebound the basketball. The Heat were getting back in the game, Skip. They got 4 cracks. And finally, J.J. Redick knocked down a corner three. You can't give them that many opportunities at you. It's already difficult because they're a good team. They're a very good team. I didn't think the Sixers would be this good, this fast.
Nope.
Because everybody can say, well, I knew Ben. No, you didn't know because he didn't play last year. So you had no idea. You might have no idea. You might have thought he was going to be good, but be this good, this quick. I didn't see that coming. But they're going to be a force to reckon with. But if anybody can reckon with him, I know a guy.
He can wreck them?
I know a guy, Skip, that this will happen. In his 4 games against the Sixers this year, he's 33-5, so almost 34 points a game, 12 rebounds, and almost 10 assists.
And what happened at your restaurant after the last 2 games?
They're 2-2.
March 1st,
They're
April
2-2.
6th.
They're 2-2.
Last 2 games, what happened at your restaurant after hours?
What
you
happened
close?
first 2?
Did you close? LeBron came knocking, and you said, we're closed.
Can I ask you a question?
Right?
So do the first 2 games
No,
matter?
do not count.
Why?
Because as recently as February the 4th, this Philly team was 25-25. This was a 500 basketball team on February the 4th.
Okay.
And guess what happened?
What happened?
Explosion happened. Arrival happened. Since then, this team is 31-6, counting the 5 games against Joy's team. 31-6.
That ain't saying nothing against the Joyce team.
I think it's saying a lot.
Okay, who's their guy? Who's the guy for the Heat?
For the Heat?
Yeah, who's the guy?
Dwayne Wade was a guy.
The guy. So the guy that comes off the bench is the guy.
Dragic is a guy.
Stop it.
Sometimes Whiteside's a guy.
I said.
And Kelly Olynyk he played great in this series.
Man bun.
Josh
Man
Richardson.
bun did nothing. First of
Justice
all,
Winslow.
Hassan Whiteside did nothing.
You know,
He did a little more than 2
he
points.
did less.
Hassan
He did
Whiteside.
less than nothing. Skip, I said the guy, not a guy.
Yep.
They're different.
Shannon Sharpe.
Yes.
I have bad news for you. It's over for the King in the East.
Okay.
This team has arrived a year ahead of schedule, and it's going to derail LeBron James from getting to, I've lost track, his 8th straight NBA Finals, and maybe it'll sort of put him out of his finals misery because I don't want to see him go lose to whoever comes out of the West again.
It wasn't going to be the
Fall to
Spurs.
3-6. It was not going to be the Spurs. Would have been
No, it would not have been.
if the best player hadn't quit, but that's a whole nother story. So at the end of the game last night, I watched Dwayne Wade go up to Ben Simmons and hug him and whisper something in his ear. And so that prompted me to tweet this. I tweeted that D-Wade probably just told Ben Simmons, quote, take it easy on Bron in the conference finals. Try not to embarrass him. You guys will be just too much for him at his age. And that's it.
Oh, now you're a lip reader. Now you're a lip reader.
Yeah, I don't know if he exactly said that,
He didn't say
but
none
I
of
think
that.
he said some of that to Ben Simmons. Just take it easy on my guy.
He probably said, stay healthy, and y'all to go ahead and take care of
He
business.
probably said that. Shannon Sharpe,
Yes.
after what I saw against Joy's Heat, I don't think LeBron and company can win a game against these Sixers. I'm talking about getting swept by these Sixers. That's how potent they are.
Whatever.
Because I just watched Joy's team go Pat Riley, Memorial, football caliber, playoff, roughhouse defense on these young Sixers. I saw these Sixers get punched in the mouth in game 2, and then they got punched again in game 3, 4, and 5, and they took it, and they stood up, and they fought back, but they never fought. They never went over the edge. They never lost their poise. And in the end, Dwayne Wade had to sit at the podium last night and say, you know what? I don't mind losing when we give maximum effort, and we just got beaten by a better team. So Dwayne just said, they're just too good, and all he talked about last night was how special this team is and how it has arrived. And Shannon, those last 2 games were indicative of what's happening here. I got the 2 box scores, March 1st and April 6th. March 1st was just decimation in Cleveland. I mean, the Sixers, that was significant. That was a big turning point moment.
Did Kevin Love play in that game?
No, he did not.
Oh, okay.
But the Sixers went into LeBron's house. LeBron did play, and that's all I hear about, the Beast of the East. And the Sixers just took them apart. It was 108-97. And then on April 6th, with no Joel Embiid at Philadelphia, the Sixers led by 30. They scored 78 in the first half. It was 78-55. And then they, as young teams do, took foot off gas. And here came LeBron, and he was terrific in this game until, of course, he unfortunately got fouled at the end and had to go stand by himself at the free throw line, his worst nightmare, and try to make 3 straight free throws to get them to overtime. And, of course, he missed the second one predictably.
Kind of like Kawhi and Manu.
No, it wasn't like that at all because they didn't have 3 free throws to tie.
You had 2. All you got to do is make both of them and the game's over.
So all the best player in basketball had to do is make 3 free throws to get them to overtime against the best team.
Do not win the game, but to get it to overtime.
This isn't just the best team in the East right now. I got to tell you, this is starting to look like the best team in basketball. That hinges upon the health of one Steph Curry. We will see. But right here, right now, the team that's playing at the highest level is number 1, Philadelphia, and number 2, the team we're going to talk about in just a little bit, the Utah Jazz. Those are 1, 2. The Jazz are becoming the Sixers of the West. But the Sixers are now the Sixers of the East, and they are the new beasts of the East because Joel Embiid, I think you would agree, he is the most dominating player in basketball on both ends of the floor.
Yeah.
Do you see anything? I don't see anything.
I'll take Anthony Davis. I would take Anthony Davis.
But
I get
Joel. And he plays with vengeance. He's nasty. He's got attitude. He's got swagger, but good swagger. Like if it's possible to have humble swagger, he's got just a dose enough of humility that he's not over the top and he hasn't lost himself in himself just yet.
Right.
And he's got a 7-foot point guard who dribbles the ball up the floor every time, can pass like Magic Johnson, and can defend like Joel Embiid in the paint on the other end because he's 7 feet tall. That makes it pretty hard.
He's a good player, Skip, but the Heat were tailor-made. I mean, the Miami Pilot Lights, ain't no heat. Wasn't nothing burning. Wasn't nothing going on, Joy Taylor. Wasn't nothing cooking. Skip, look, we've seen Philly in the playoffs play the best they possibly can. We have yet to see the Cavaliers play like that because we have yet to have a player other than LeBron reach 20 points in a game.
Okay.
Now, they've been very, very good on the defensive end, but you say that's because of Indiana's style of play. You do not want to give the Cavaliers any credit for the way they're playing defense. So, okay.
I said down the stretch the other day as Indiana missed 9 of its last 10 shots after leading 92-89.
They've given up 100 points. In 4 games, the most they've given up is 100 points.
So you like your team on defense now?
I love them.
Okay, good.
I love them.
Oh, says Shannon Sharpe, I love them.
All I'm saying is this. That was the perfect matchup for the 76ers because the Heat The Heat do not have any offensive firepower. They don't have one guy that says, okay, go get me buckets.
Okay.
Who can do that? Yeah. Now, we got a guy.
Your team was down 30 points.
They lost. See, you get all that down. They lost. I don't care if they were down 100 points. If they lose, they lose.
Shannon, do you see what's happening? Explosion is happening. The last week of the season, the Sixers scored 78 in the first half against Cleveland. Then they scored 80 in the first half against Milwaukee. And then in game one against Joy's team, they scored 74 in the second half. That's just explosive firepower. J.J. Redick is playing by far the best basketball of his career.
He is.
He is a sharpshooter. Yeah. He's a little better shooter to me than even Kyle Korver is on a consistent basis. And he's defending at a very high level I've never seen.
But he's defending guys that can't cause him any harm, can do anything.
All right. So another great defender for Philly is Robert Covington.
Yeah, now
he's 6 feet 9 inches tall. He finished number 2 in individual defensive win shares in the whole league. LeBron was 309.
Yeah.
309 to number 2. I'd say that's advantage Cleveland.
But here's the thing. This is what's confusing me. A guy that finished number 2 is giving up 33 points. Hold on, let me know. He's giving up 34 points a game, not 12 rebounds, and almost 10 assists. That's what the number 2 defender is giving up against LeBron James.
Okay.
Boy, I hate to see if he was number 10.
And then there's this other guy named Saric, and he's 6 feet 10 inches tall, and he is highly skilled.
Did you see what LeBron did to Saric?
Woo, woo.
What did I tell you the other day?
I saw Saric shoot a late shot, and it ticked off all the Cavaliers. Remember that?
Yeah.
He shot a layup late.
Do you remember when LeBron James made that declaration? If you're 6'10", you're a foreign big man. I'm sending you to meet your maker a lot sooner. Because look at Nurkic. You tell me Nurkic was the exact same. You saw him against the Pelicans.
I guess not.
Anthony Davis went 33, 12, and 5.
Body bag.
Body bag.
Done.
Yeah.
So LeBron better go in and body bag all these guys because then when I least expected it, late in the year, the Colangelos, who are now running the Sixers, they go out and they steal Bellinelli and Ilyasova. 2 perfect fits for them because they're glue guys, they're guts guys. They know how to play. They can both shoot the lights out, and yet, to your point, neither of them made a 3 last night. Saric didn't make a 3 last night. They shot the ball poorly, except for J.J. last night, and Miami outshot them from the 3-point line. And what happened, Shannon? What happened?
They outshot them Philly shot 25%, Miami shot 28%. Wow. You make it seem like Miami shot 48%. But can tell the people at home what they shot from the floor. 38%.
So let's look at Game 4 on Saturday at Miami. This is at Miami. It's a hard place to win. So in that game, Joel Embiid has 8 turnovers, and Ben Simmons has 7 turnovers. And wait a second, the Sixers as a team, this young team, not ready for prime time, they have 26 total turnovers in that game. And they won by 4? How did they do that? Because they have star power. They have firepower.
Yes.
They're just better than the Heat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I don't really need to say anything because they have what the Heat does not. Star power, firepower. You mentioned that.
Wait a second. All you've been telling me over the past 10 days is that LeBron just doesn't have enough help. He just doesn't have enough help. So you keep telling me nobody else has scored 20 points in a game.
Am I lying?
Okay. Well, so you should admit defeat. You can see this coming 1,000 miles an hour down the pike right at you, that this team is just way better than your team.
Well, hold on. Let me get this right. I want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. I have a team that's tied 2-2, and I have the best player on the planet. Your team is down 3-1, and you still believe the Thunder's going to win. Okay, but I'm supposed to abandon LeBron.
You just changed the subject.
I have LeBron James.
We're talking about the Sixers, who I picked before the playoffs started to win the East, and now it looks like a cakewalk for the Sixers.
But see, this is what you're going to do. I already know what you're going to do.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just saying what I see.
Okay, what
did you see?
When LeBron James beat the Sixers and advanced to the finals, what will you say?
I'd say that's
cake. No, you won't.
I would say that's great.
You've never said that.
I already took it back. I apologized to the city of Philadelphia, and I also apologized to the city of Indiana because they're pretty good.
But see, no.
I did it. I already said it publicly. I took it back.
But then when he beats Indiana, you're like, well, they don't have any star power.
Well, they're not exactly Reggie Miller's Pacers. Well, come on. Do they have a Rick Smits in the middle? Do
Miles
they have the
Turner.
Davises? They don't have the Davises, do they? Do they have Chris Paul?
They play a different style of game.
Oh.
The Knicks do not have the Knicks of old. Do the Bulls have the Bulls of old?
Well, what does that mean?
Exactly.
Obviously
What does having the Pacers, what do the Davis boys mean? All I'm saying is this. I have LeBron, and as long as I have him, I have a chance.
Right.
I have more than a chance. I have a great, great chance.
Huh. So think about this.
Okay.
Just 2 years ago, Philly won 10 total games.
Okay.
They went 10-72.
Yeah.
And then just last year, they won a total of 28. So they went 28-54. And then, as I mentioned, all the way to February 4th, they were just 25-25. That's not very good, right? So it's looking like they're not there.
It looked like
right?
the process worked. Because by winning 10 games, you got Ben Simmons. You win a few more games, you get Markelle Fultz. Now, he looked like he's going to be okay. But you got Joel Embiid that you got the red shirt, and play. So, okay, it's looking good. It's looked like what they wanted to do, the process, which was tank, get high draft picks. It looks like it's paying off. But I tell you what, you still got to see him. Whether you see him today, tomorrow, or 2 weeks from tomorrow, you still must see 2-3 from Akron.
And 2-3 is going to have to go up against a whole city full of momentum because all of a sudden the
City
year
don't win no games.
The year 2018 looks like it is becoming the greatest year by far in Philadelphia sports history. Am I right? Because the Eagles won it. What?
They got the juice right now.
They got Philly. I mean, the Eagles won it, then Villanova won it. Has anybody been watching what speaking of Phillies, the baseball Phillies have been doing? They're the surprise of baseball right now. They're 14-8, and all of a sudden they're projected.
I watched the Flyers give up 8 goals. I watched the Flyers get sent home. What about that? So why didn't that juice rub off on them?
Well, I don't know, but it's rubbed off on everybody else because it's just looking
you're
like...
You're 20 games into the baseball season.
Wow.
And you're really going on the limb to talk about the Phillies right now.
I just read a projection just a few minutes ago on ESPN.com that has the Phillies winning the NL East. Wow. That's pretty good.
Skip,
Something's going on here, and it's coming for you.
You're losing your mind. That's what's going on here.
No,
you're losing your mind.
I don't even like Philadelphia. In fact, I hate the Eagles, but I got to give in. I see
No,
what
you're
I
not
see.
giving in. You want someone. You're gonna hitch your wagon to anyone that you think can take down that 6'9" monster up in Akron, Ohio. But good luck. Good luck.
I just told you, I can't even see the monster in Akron winning one game. I don't see how you can win a game.
7 up, 7 down.
Really?
That's what he been going to the finals. 7 up, 7 down.
Okay.
Yep. 8.
You love it?
I
Not
love
sweating
it.
at all?
No.
No, not sweating at all.
Skip.
Okay, let's just do this. A potential matchup between the Sixers and LeBron, because I'm not even sure LeBron's going to get past the Pacers. I'm not convinced of that.
Well, we got that Sprite on it tonight.
That's coming. That's coming. We'll do that in our next topic. But I'll give you this. Let's project, hypothetically, LeBron does get to the conference finals, and let's say, because it's no done deal, but let's say the Sixers get to the conference finals. What will happen then, hypothetically? What do you think will happen? LeBron in 5?
It doesn't matter.
What do you
LeBron is
think?
going on.
Going on?
Onward and upwards.
What's your gut feeling here, right now?
My gut says
Give me- in
LeBron
what?
would have one of those historic games.
Really?
No, one of these historic series.
Triple-double?
Something like 35, 13, and 6 or 7.
6 or 7? You
Yeah.
didn't even give me a triple-double?
35, 13. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
And he would win it what? Give me a number. In 5?
He winning 8.
Go ahead.
He's going to the NBA Finals for the 8th consecutive time.
Give me a number.
There's nothing you can do
You won't
about
give
it.
me a number because you are scared.
Skip.
You are scared.
It doesn't matter.
You know.
It doesn't matter.
You are sweating.
If I say 4, 5, 6, 7, does it matter?
Yeah,
If
because
the
then you would reveal your conviction. You need to reveal it.
If the end result is the same, what difference does it make? So I'm allergic to shellfish. Joey, if I were to eat shrimp, crab, oyster, scallop, if the end result is the same, does it matter?
Well, I mean, one might taste better than the other, depending on what you like.
But I'm still going to ER. So it doesn't matter.
Are you really allergic?
Yeah, I am.
So that's why you don't eat sushi.
I don't eat anything a good vet could have saved. Anyway.
LeBron eats sushi.
Yeah, that's why he and I part ways. That's why they
Really?
That's why I go to
That's why you didn't go in the
Yeah, that's why I
restaurant?
ain't go in. But Skip, I don't care if it's 4 games. I don't care if it's 5. And you know good and well, if we get to a game 7, ain't no way the Sixers are beating LeBron James in a game 7. You know that. I know that.
Wait, Game 7 would be in Philadelphia?
I don't care if game 7 is played on the
Interesting.
moon.
Wow. Well, as long as my man Kevin Hart doesn't show up, he got away with
Oh,
showing up
no.
last night.
He showed up in
He
Miami.
cannot, if it does get to Game 7 versus LeBron, he cannot show up.
Why?
Because he might goad LeBron into some historic performance. You know,
What you mean, another one?
Yeah.
Like you haven't seen enough of those?
The best I've ever seen LeBron is when he gets heckled by somebody. It happened once in Atlanta, once in Toronto, where he got heckled into a historic performance. Because when he gets mad, he is a force of nature.
I was watching LeBron last night in Game 7 against somebody. It was 90 to 88. And he tried to get a screen and Kawhi fought through it. And LeBron pulled up at the top of the key from 18.
Yeah. What do you mean you were watching it last
I
night?
just happened to watch it.
Where was it?
Hey, well, I don't know, it was on TV somewhere.
Somewhere?
Yeah. Maybe I had it recorded. I don't know. Could be.
Well, just last night, I just happened to watch Game 5 of the 2014 Finals, and LeBron was over on the bench. He was crying.
No, it wasn't.
Tears were dripping down.
Stop it.
Seriously.
Oh, hold on.
Tears were dripping like threes from the
Why are
sky.
you watching? Why were you not watching the Spurs?
Huh? There's nothing to watch.
Yes,
It's
that's
over.
your team.
That's what Ernestine asked
Over.
me. She said, "Are you going to watch this?" I said, "No,"
Why not?
because it's over. We're not no shot. Best player quit.
You know he didn't quit. Stop that, Skip.
Well, I'm just
Stop
telling you.
painting that. The man is hurt. He's injured.
Well, can Kevin Hart come if he brings Meek with him?
Yeah, that would work. And
No.
he was sitting with Meek, I think, last
He can
night.
bring whatever. He can bring meat,
that works.
peak, seek, heat,
Yeah.
all the fleek. He bring them all. LeBron gonna bust them all up.
Right now, it looks bleak for your team.
You won't bet nothing.
Bleak.
You won't bet nothing on that.
I will. I'll bet a whole lot on that.
Well, we gonna find out.
Yeah, we will.
No mercy. Hey guys, Joy Taylor here. More Undisputed is on the way, but first, a quick word about Buffalo Wild Wings. There's a new boss in town at Buffalo Wild Wings, and he deals in bacon. It's the Bacon Boss Burger, featuring bacon 3 different ways and a blanket of white cheese sauce. And he's joined by other new favorites, like the smothered cheesesteak quesadilla, sweet chili shrimp, and Alaska Cod Classic. All pair perfectly with a Sam 76, a fruity ale with the crisp finish of a lager. Hurry in today and try them all before they're gone at Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. Available for a limited time while supplies last. Please drink responsibly. No mercy.
Tonight, it's a huge Game 5 in Cleveland as the Cavs host the Pacers. We're joined once again by Eddie House. Eddie, who wins tonight?
I got the Cavaliers in the land. I got them getting
In a
it done.
landslide, is that what you're saying?
No, not in the landslide. In the land.
Yeah,
In the
okay.
land.
Yeah.
I got them getting it done. But to me, the key is it's LeBron James. We know what he's going to do, but what is everybody else going to do? That's
Here we
the
go.
question.
Is he your puppet today?
No,
or
but
what?
no, I ain't nobody puppet now. But no, I'm just saying that
He just
nobody.
doesn't have enough
Think about
help
this:
or
12 points from Kevin Love. He's supposed to be the second guy. You got to give me more than that. There's so many other guys in this playoff averaging more than Kevin Love, and they're not even the second. They'll be the third, fourth. Just look at Philly.
D-Wade coming off the bench averaging 16.
J.R. Smith averaging 10. Them the only 3 guys averaging double figures. So my message to the Cleveland Cavaliers are everybody else where's the camera at? Do your job.
Yeah.
Do your job. That's all. That's all. You
what
have
Bill
to do
Belichick says.
your job, and that's it. That's all. If they do their job, they'll win this game. And that's not. You don't have to go above and beyond. Just do your job. If you're supposed to knock down some threes, open up the court. That's all you need to do. I mean, they got 5 players shooting under 20% from 3 right now, and that's including LeBron James as well.
Maybe they're getting defended.
33 different lineups during the season, 4 different lineups in the playoffs already. They're consistently inconsistent right now. So can they get some consistency in this game? They need it. That way they can win.
You sound concerned about their chances tonight.
I think it go either way. I'm telling you.
Well-
You don't know what team's going to show up. 51-49 Cavs.
Okay.
I'm
Is that the final
100%.
score? 51?
No, that's the percentile.
LeBron might get 51 by himself.
He might.
While you over there bumping him, Skip
Yeah,
Bayless.
he might.
Well, I'm 100% for certain.
Yeah.
Feel good.
Okay.
Yes.
You do.
Yes, feel real good. All I need is if Kevin Love gives me 20 tonight, we beat him by 15. That's all we ask. Because I know Bron's going to do what he does. Because they got no answer for him. Bogdanovich can't do anything.
Nah.
He too slow.
Yep.
Lance Stevenson, all about antics. Can't do anything with us. So we're going to go ahead and drop the hammer on them. Oh, you know what? Like a good old stat line. What I'm thinking, what I'm seeing. The pen just going by itself, Joe. I mean, it looks like I'm doing it, but the pen really doing it by itself.
Really?
40-14-8.
It's like the hand of God?
Yeah, 40-14-8.
40-14. What happened to the 8?
8.
You give him, give him 10.
Oh, you were telling me they're going to knock down them shots?
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to knock, well, 40-14 and 13.
Do your job.
40-14 and 13.
Okay.
If they do their job.
40, 14, and 13?
Yes.
Whew. I got to write that down and save it for tomorrow. 14. Okay. You want a case of dew on that? Or?
No. We already got to do on these 6.5 points.
So, did you hear what he just said? He officially gave me, it's on tape, and he just said it again.
Yeah.
He gave me 6.5 tonight. I got Pacers plus 6.5.
Yeah.
And after you uttered those words, that point spread got bet down to 6 because I think a lot of people are watching Undisputed and said, ooh, Skip's making a good case for the Pacers. And so now they're betting on the Pacers.
Yeah, you know what? Vegas got another $2 billion casino going up tomorrow. They ain't building those casinos with winners' money.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, so how do you explain that the Pacers won game 1 in a landslide?
You saw how bad they shot.
Oh, okay, but they did. And then in game 2, the Pacers came from 18 down, and Oladipo had a shot to win it with 27 to tie it, 27, wide open 3, right?
But Victor Oladipo, that's not Steph Curry now.
Okay,
That's
all
not.
right. But
I mean,
that
he had a
happened.
career-
They still lost, though.
He had a career year.
That happened.
Okay.
And then was it Friday night?
Yeah.
You're up 17 at half, and you just blow it and get blown out by Bogdanovich.
That didn't get Skip. If the man gonna go 7-9 from the 3-point line, there's really nothing you can do.
That happened.
He's shooting 42% from the 3.
He is.
Yeah.
And he's taking 6 a game.
Okay.
He's a big key in this game.
He's a big key. So, and then the other day, Sunday, they came from 16 down to lead 92-89 with 6 minutes left. How could that happen?
And we walk them down.
This is LeBron's
And we
team.
slow walk
I don't
them.
understand it.
It's because they're consistently inconsistent.
Okay.
One quarter, they'll play good offense, bad defense. The next quarter, they'll fix their defense and have bad offense.
Right.
In one quarter, they have nothing going. Then one of them quarters, LeBron go crazy. And that's what's been happening pretty much all year.
You know, LeBron go crazy.
Yeah. I watch him go crazy on defense playing a one-man zone. He just goes and stands underneath the basket. That's how he plays
to
defense
conserve his
now.
energy, obviously.
Thank you.
Ain't nobody else scoring for him. So
Really?
he got to conserve his. He got
So
you
he
can't
takes
win if
like,
you don't score.
He takes Thaddeus Young because he's just going to kind of drift around the paint.
Ask Russell Westbrook how that worked out for you when you expend your energy trying to guard 94 feet. Ask him how that worked out for him last game.
I guess it didn't.
Yeah, it
No,
did.
but this is the best player on the planet.
It is.
So,
Ain't nothing changed.
Wow. So I'm seeing a Pacers team that just not afraid. But Lance sets the tone. He's not afraid of LeBron James. He's going to go right at him. He's going to pick at him. He's going to poke at him. He's going to prod him. And he prodded him into a technical foul the other day with 6 minutes left in a game that Indiana had taken quick control of. They were up 92-89.
As soon as he checks in the game
Yeah.
and the Cavs have the ball, what does LeBron do? Go straight to the bucket. Straight to the bucket. Because you know why?
And you know what Lance does usually? He just fouls the hell out of him.
Yeah.
Just hammers
or he
him,
get
right?
put in the basket.
Oh, and what LeBron do? You know, LeBron, every time somebody hit it, he roll
them shoulders.
roll that thing on that. Roll it out, bro. Roll out. That's what's going to happen tonight.
You know who the
Beat
pressure's
down.
on tonight? It's still on LeBron James.
I think it's on Indiana.
No.
Because they know.
They don't have anything to lose.
If they lose this game,
I know,
if
but
they lose
big
this game,
picture,
it's
they
over.
don't have
It's
anything
over.
to lose.
Yeah.
Come on.
They know their best opportunity. They got to steal this one right here.
Okay. Well, they stole game 1, so they
it.
must feel pretty good
No,
about
they don't.
themselves.
They don't feel good.
Yeah.
And you know how role players play better at home
And they-
anyway. So
well,
we'll
you
see
say
what
that,
happens
but
with the Cavs.
What's the chance of Bogdanovich going 7-9 from 3?
Probably
What's
not
the
in
cha-
Cleveland.
what's the
He's
chan-
shooting 42%.
What's the chance? What's the chance? Well, if you go 7-9 and he made 2 the other night, so that doesn't take much. What you think, Miles Turner? You think he's gonna go 3 for 3 from the 3-point line?
Probably not.
Okay.
What's the chance that Victor Oladipo turns back into that guy who played in game 1? Remember that guy who scored, what was it, 32?
They game plan for him. They
Yeah.
getting the ball out of his
Listen,
hands
yeah,
right now.
they trap him
They're
every time.
trapping him, and then they're not making quick plays. He's not passing it quick enough out of the double team, and then Indiana's not getting it and going. It's a mismatch on the back end.
And plus, you still don't have an answer for that guy. Because if you got the answer for that guy, you're asking the wrong questions. See what I went that, Skip?
Yeah.
If there's an answer for 2-3
Yeah.
from the 3-3-0, You're asking the wrong questions.
I don't think Indiana is trying to stop it. They know they can't stop him. Let him get off. That's why you see him. He'll get 10 dribbles back all the way in. They don't come and double.
Because they don't want the threes.
They let him get off.
Doubled him the whole series.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
And that's why he cooked
Let
him.
him get off and cut off everybody else water. And that's the Indiana Pacers game plan.
Game
that's
three,
their
they
that's
let-
their best opportunity.
They let Bogdanovich guard him just about the whole game 3.
And he forgot.
Really?
He let him game 4 too.
Huh.
But old fourth Corver came through for.
He did. He made
Jeff
2
Green
huge
saw a
shots.
couple of them baskets
So
go
wait,
in.
are you saying he does have some help? Maybe he does.
Oh, but
you didn't even mention
It's-
but you didn't mention anything.
Sporadic help. It's spot help.
What about those 4 he missed in the first half?
Who? Kyle Korver?
Yeah, who?
Well, he's
That's who.
He
he's
made the big ones,
fourth
though.
Korver. He's not first Korver.
Well, they
right?
wide open. I wanted to make them 2.
Yeah.
But that's all right. Brian hold it down because he
Yeah.
went bonkers in the
And
second
he's using
quarter.
his defense. And he's
Yeah.
using his energy on deep. I'm talking about Corver.
Yeah, he playing
He's
scrappy.
playing
He
hard.
playing great.
Yeah.
So's JR.
Yeah.
Hard on defense. You got help. 7.5. Give me 7.5. Well, you're making the case.
6. It's back down to 6. The line is 6.
No, it's 6.
You told
Nope.
You told me to give you the line. The line is 6
Nope,
now.
you already
Suckered
gave me.
you.
Do you realize
You
how this
fell for the
works?
banana in
When
the
you go
tailpipe.
plunk your money down, it's what the line is at that moment. It could change.
Well, I want to plug some more money down. I want to bet another case.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that.
Eddie, thanks for joining us. No mercy. Back in February, the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Nick Foles was named MVP, and Tom Brady did not shake his hand at the end of the game. That was over 2 months ago, and yesterday Foles was asked if he's talked to Brady since that moment. Let's take a listen.
Well, we haven't, and I'm sure we will someday. I mean, y'all saw it, y'all were there. Chaos happens very quickly. I mean, the clock hit 0. I got to enjoy 1 second to myself, and then for the next 4 hours, it's a blur. And it's one of those things where it's crazy, and I think the world of Tom Brady is one of the greatest ever. I really enjoy getting to compete against him and his team on that stage. So I know someday I'll run into him. We'll have a great conversation. And no, I still think he's a tremendous player. Great role model for everyone.
We're joined by Pro Bowl cornerback D'Angelo Hall. Welcome. Good morning.
This will be interesting.
Do you have a problem with Brady not congratulating Foles?
I do, just because, Tom's been in this situation a lot of times already, and he should know better. He should make it a point. He is Tom Brady, the GOAT. He should make it a point to go find this young guy and let him know, hey, man, heck of a ball game. As bad as I wanted to win this thing and as bad as I thought we should have won it, and, hey, by the way, we probably would have won it if Malcolm Butler would have played, but that's another story.
Oh, man.
But hey, congratulations. You played your heart out.
Yeah.
And great catch. I tried. He should have definitely said something to this, to this guy. Nick Foles is a guy who probably won't be back in that situation ever again.
He
and
might.
so
You never know.
Stop, Skip. Let the man speak.
Better than Carson Wentz, but go ahead.
is he?
Yeah, I think he is. He
Oh,
showed
man.
you that in
No,
3
he did
playoff
not.
games.
He had his chance.
Has Carson Wentz played a playoff?
He had his chance. Did he not have his chance in Philly?
Who?
Nick
Nick
Foles.
Did he have his chance?
Yeah, he
won
got to
3
play a
straight
little
playoff
bit.
games, and he played 2 of the greatest
Well,
playoff games any quarterback's ever played in the
not talking
championship
about
game
is
in the
the
Super Bowl.
championship
Am I
run.
right?
He did. That championship run, though, was, we need to make a movie about it. I need to go ahead and direct it, maybe let you executive produce it or something. But, yes, that Super Bowl run, you couldn't have scripted it better. I have a cousin who's a diehard Eagles fan. And I told him, when they were winning, hey, you can have my Super Bowl tickets. We get Super Bowl tickets. After Carson Wentz goes down, man, I'm going to go ahead and sell these things. And he came knocking on the door, right? Because we all wrote him off, right? I think we all wrote him off. And so, but, yes, Tom Brady definitely needs to somehow figure out a way to acknowledge Nick Foles' success.
He
and
should have done it at the day of the game,
Yeah,
after the
yeah, he
game. That's
definitely
what you
should have done
do. Because, it's what I find so funny, D. Hall, is that everybody, all these same chaotic situations, the losing quarterback, Matt Ryan, had a 25-point lead. Confetti is raining down in silver and white in the Patriots' color. He finds his way to Tom Brady. Russell Wilson throws an interception that possibly changes history and how the Seattle Seahawks are viewed and maybe how Tom Brady is viewed. Can you imagine if Tom Brady is 3-5 in Super Bowls instead of 5-3? But that's neither here nor there. Somehow Russell Wilson was able to finagle his way and find Tom Brady. But Tom Brady cannot. And but it always goes back. I have a hard time. Can you imagine someone making an argument for Michael Jordan being the GOAT saying he needed Craig Hodges? Because every time we talk about right now, we talk about Malcolm Butler. If Tom Brady is the GOAT, he got to deliver us. If Tom Brady is who Skip Bayless say he is, Malcolm Butler should be a footnote.
Tom Brady can't play defense.
Hey,
they don't allow it.
he couldn't hold on to the ball either. Did he drop? Was that a catchable ball, D. Hall?
That was a catchable ball.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not the most athletic guy.
Oh,
I
okay,
think
that's
we
all.
all
That's
know
it.
that.
We good.
I think we all know that.
D'Angelo, do you realize that in the Super Bowl, Tom Brady threw for more yards than any quarterback has ever thrown in any playoff game ever? 505. He did that.
I do know that.
He hung 33 on a really good Eagles defense that was really hot at that point. And for some reason, his head coach didn't play the best defensive back on the team one snap when he played 98% of the regular season snaps. That's incomprehensible and inexplicable.
We talking about the handshake.
I know. Well, you brought it up.
I didn't bring
I
up nothing.
finished it. Yeah, I finished it. So does this prove that Tom Brady's a bad guy and a fraud? Is that what you're suggesting? That's what you seem
How
to be
you leap to that
suggesting.
conclusion?
Because you're heading there.
No,
between the lines.
Ain't no. Okay, I'm right here. I'm right here between the lines. Tom Brady is a poor sport, and he should because he's been in the situation on the other. Can you imagine how Russell Wilson is feeling? Can you imagine
Shannon
how
Sharpe.
Matt Ryan is feeling?
The poorest sport I was ever around that I ever covered was one Michael Jordan. Just the sorriest loser you could ever imagine.
yes.
He just couldn't stand it. And when he lost, it was over.
Yeah.
He's congratulating nobody. He didn't lose very much. He never lost.
Well, then what's the problem?
That's okay.
So if Michael Jordan is a poor sport and wasn't going to congratulate anyone, why did he fight so hard to keep Isaiah off the Dream Team? That's what I want to know.
Hey,
Oh,
Michael's got some bad guy in him. That's who he is.
Not only is
You remember his Hall of Fame speech?
Yes.
He stood up and ripped everybody who ever crossed him.
Yeah.
Everybody. He
Yes.
just went right down the list. My high school coach, Jerry Krause, just blasted him.
Yeah.
It wasn't a pretty sight, was it? That's not what you're supposed to do in Hall of Fame speeches.
But Skip, you know him. A lot of people know him. No one is surprised. Anybody that knows him, they're not surprised by the speech that he gave. It's only the people that sell the jump man and the guy selling Hanes and Gatorade
That is correct.
that's surprised.
Tom Brady has a whole lot of Michael Jordan in him. He's different from every other quarterback. And I remind you, Tom Brady did not congratulate Eli after either of the Eli victories over Tom Brady in either of those two Super Bowls. So he's consistent with his misbehavior. He just doesn't go over there. And yet, the great Peyton Manning, once upon a time, you love Peyton Manning, right?
Yeah, he's wrong.
No, he's wrong.
Yeah.
So, obviously, he didn't go over and congratulate Drew Brees after Peyton threw a big interception that lost that Super Bowl. Remember that one?
Tracy Porter.
Ran it back. That was something. Peyton said, I certainly know how it was 3 years ago when we won. There's the stage being set up and the celebration, and it's time for the Saints to celebrate. It's their field. They deserve the moment. That's what Peyton said about why he didn't go across the field to congratulate Drew. It's his moment. I'm not going to disrupt it or try to.
He didn't go across there because he was upset because they won. See, it's a lot easier if you're not supposed to win and you lose. Like, okay, well, come on, let's get it. But both teams were favored to win that game. And you talking about Tom Brady, you call the GOAT.
I don't call everybody.
I'm not calling him the GOAT.
I call him the GOAT.
But anyway, you can't be the GOAT and lose to a backup. You lost to a backup.
I told you Nick Foles should be the starting quarterback for the Eagles next year. You know it, and I know
He
it.
lost to a guy in Eli Manning who got benched for Geno Smith. Now, how you be the GOAT and be that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You're the only one in the known world who says he's not the GOAT.
Because he did not. Listen, you talk about, I want him to do like most. See, somehow we've lost this, D. Hall. We've lost that, well, if you shake a man's hand after he beats you, you're not competitive. When did that come into people? They can be two separate things. They don't have to be mutually exclusive, Skip.
So, D. Hall, speaking of Tom Brady, in the tunnel in the hallway of the stadium after all the media sessions, he ran into two Philadelphia Eagles who played on the defensive side, the defense that did, quote unquote, stop him, at least beat him. And the first one was Derek Barnett, the rookie defensive end. And Derek Barnett said he was just in awe. He said, it's crazy. I told him how much I looked up to him when I was younger, and he told me we had a hell of a season and we deserved to win that football game. And Fletcher Cox, the great Fletcher Cox, the best player on defense, also said he ran into Tom Brady, and Brady sought him out and came over and shook his hand and said, way to go. Well, that's the fraud, Tom Brady. That's the bad guy, right?
No, I want this on full display.
Interesting.
We didn't play this game in a tunnel. No, I want people to see. Now, think about this. You remember when Russell Wilson threw that pick? Richard Sherman falls on his knees. Now, earlier that year, I think it was a year ago, he had a saying, you mad, bruh? He making fun.
2 years before
Yeah, he making fun.
Yeah.
Now, when they win the game, what does Richard Sherman do? He go shake that man's hand. Don't hide in front of no tunnel. No. I want everybody to know. I want you to look me in my eyes and know that I'm the superior man today.
So are you saying that Tom Brady has no class? Is that what you're saying? I want to know what you're saying. Where are we going with this?
I'm saying
Shannon just wants it broadcast.
I'm saying Tom Brady is a poor sport.
He's flawed, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, of course he's flawed.
So you've never had a drag out game with somebody or an opponent.
Correct.
And really had a heck of a matchup going on to where you lost that and you didn't feel like going to shake no hands.
I shake. You got
nobody's
me.
hand.
You got me. I say, bro, you got me. You got me.
You
I
did
ain't wait.
not
I ain't
say
wait till I
that.
get up on the tunnel. Hey,
Are you actively seeking this guy out, or if you happen
Did you go
to see
shake his
him?
hand, Shannon?
No,
You got me?
Because I know I've missed some handshakes from time to time.
I would think you missed several.
as I
have.
got older, I wasn't all into the handshake, but I didn't really know these guys. I mean, but the guys that I was going up against, because when I gave them that business, you had to see me. Don't try to run off the field. I run them down. I used to run them. They try to run off the field. Hey, bro, good game. Good game.
Shannon Sharpe is what you call a poor winner.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I make no qualms about that.
Oh, we know.
I'm insufferable.
We know.
I'm insufferable.
We see it every day.
But you need to know this.
Yeah.
You the one that was talking. Oh, I'm going to shut Sharp down. So when I hang that 13 for $1.56 in them 3 tubs, don't go running off.
Yeah.
Pat me on the... Did you do
Tell
what
me
you
I did a good
job? Yeah. I need to hear it.
You should respect Tom Brady for saying, I don't do that.
No, I don't respect
stoop
no
to
Tom
that.
Brady.
Yeah.
Stop it, Skip. What?
You're looking for flaws that just
Cause
aren't
we beat the brakes off Cam Newton. Cause we scrutinize everything. Cam speak. He shouldn't have said that.
Now
He
we're
don't
getting
speak.
to it. Now we're getting
No.
to it. Yep.
You know what it is, Skip
Yeah.
Bayless. Shake that man's hand.
Yeah.
I would have seen Dick Foles. Dick Foles said I would have looked at me with little beady eyes and let him know I beat him.
Wait, you just said Tom Brady has little beady eyes?
Yeah, that's what Nick Foles said. Nick Foles
Little
said
beady
I
eyes?
want him to look at them little beady eyes.
said that.
Ever.
I'm the man today. You were the man yesterday.
Well, Fletcher Cox looked into those little beady
Up
eyes.
under the tunnel. I don't want to go up under no tunnel. That's like you say, good job, man. Good
See,
job. Tell everybody.
Do you really want your hands? Do you want somebody to shake your hand, or do you just want the photo op?
Nah, what I want to grab his head like this at D-Hall.
So maybe the losing quarterbacks want to go steal some stage from Tom Brady and get at that photo op.
It ain't nothing to steal.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing to steal. That's my stage. Hey, guess where Tom Brady won't be going? Up on the stage. He will exit stage left. I will be going to stage right. Oh, you see how that thing up? He was like this here.
Didn't you pick the Patriots to win?
Tom Brady was crying.
Wait, Tom, you picked...
Yeah, I don't mind being wrong sometimes.
No mercy.
Hey everyone, Joy Taylor here, and before the show moves along, I want to tell you about an exciting new show. It's called the Fox Sports Daily Brief, available only on Facebook Watch. We all know everyone is busy, but the Fox Sports Daily Brief takes the biggest stories in the world of sports and delivers them to you in one video on Facebook. It's all you need to know about sports from the biggest stars at Fox Sports. So log on to Facebook and search Fox Sports Daily Brief and look for new episodes weekdays. Now back to the show.
No mercy. Des Bryant was released by the Cowboys earlier this month after 8 seasons in Dallas. Des still has not signed with the new team, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of interest. Yesterday, Jerry Jones was asked if Des could return to Dallas for much less money. Let's take a listen.
I think a nice, crisp time to call it a day is the way to do this. And I thought it was the case, really, as far as when we discussed his future with the Cowboys. And I think that would pertain to your question about is the door still open. I think we need to keep this real crisp and the line's real bright. We need to move on knowing that we don't have Dez. And that sounds a little intangible, but it's got it's a little more than that.
Skip, are you surprised by Jerry's comments?
I was. And let me say, I was so proud of Jerry Jones yesterday. I do believe this was as gut-wrenching a player decision as he has ever had to make. I think it took a long time because he just couldn't come to grips with cutting a player that he so dearly loves. And yet, yesterday, when the door was opened and he was given a chance to waffle on that decision, he did not waffle. He stuck by cutting Dez Bryant and going forward without another obvious replacement for Dez Bryant. And obviously, now that no team has jumped to sign Dez Bryant, it would be pretty easy right now for Jerry to go back to Dez and get Dez to be more receptive to taking a big pay cut that he wouldn't have been before Dez got cut by the Cowboys. My point is that I don't want Dez Bryant back if he agreed to play for nothing, play for free, because I think he was a bad fit for Dak Prescott. God bless Dez. I hope he hooks on with another team. I hope he rediscovers himself. But he would have made waves in the huddle and in the locker room going forward at a reduced rate. And in the end, I say clear the decks and spread the football around. So I was shocked and impressed with the fact that Jerry Jones stuck by his guns yesterday and said we're going forward without Dez Bryant.
But I'm trying to understand, why were you so surprised when Dez said I wasn't offered a pay cut and then made a clean break? So why were you so surprised?
Because now that no one has jumped at him, wouldn't it make Dez a lot more open to taking a pay cut?
No, but
wouldn't it humble him enough that maybe Jerry could say, now I can get him at our price?
Well, here's the thing, though, Skip. Dez said pay cut was not even on the table.
No.
So that was not even an option.
No.
If Jerry wanted Dez, they could have offered him that reduced rate that you think he might be willing to come back and be more receptive to. They could have offered him that at the time they released him.
Except he wouldn't have been humbled enough by no takers on the open market to be so receptive to taking the pay cut, right?
My only thing, Skip, and you know this, I've said it. If Jerry cared about Dez as much as he said he did, he could have given them this free opportunity at the start of camp.
And my point was,
I mean, at the end of the regular
season.
Yeah.
But my point back to you has been from the start, I just think it took Jerry a long time to get convinced that we got to go forward without an obvious. There's no obvious replacement for him, right?
Right.
They don't have Dez.
Yeah.
Number two, they have Dez.
I think they had a good inclination that they were going to move on without Dez because they saw that the chemistry was, even after the second year, you could say, well, Dak and Dez didn't have good chemistry, but Dak's a rookie.
Yeah.
So the second year, Skip, another year of OTAs, another year training camp, it'll come better, but it didn't.
Yeah.
So you had a pretty good indication.
Okay, but Jerry Jones is now a fellow Hall of Famer with Shannon Sharpe, right? He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I know Jerry very well. He has a huge ego. He
Of
has
course.
enormous pride.
Yeah.
And he just had to admit publicly he made a huge mistake giving Dez Bryant this much money in 2014. I didn't think it was a huge mistake then because he had earned the money.
Earned it, right.
But Jerry had to publicly admit, I hung on too long to Dez Bryant. That's what he's saying now.
Yeah.
I've cut bait. I've cut bait completely. We're going forward.
Well, cutting Dez Bryant, if you releasing Troy Aikman, who's in the Hall of Fame, you releasing Larry Allen, who's in the Hall of Fame,
I know.
you releasing Emmitt Smith, if you feel good about with Dez, no, Skip.
Okay, but remember, the soft spot in Jerry's heart for Dez Bryant eclipsed all those great players.
I would agree. I would agree
just
with that.
know.
I would agree with that.
He just really has an affinity for Dez, and he felt like he became something of a father figure that Dez did not have growing up, and he felt like he helped Dez grow up in Dallas.
He probably did.
And I'm not sure about that, but he would like to think that he did.
But
so it's hard to push your quote-unquote son out the back door.
It is.
Right?
It's hard to let go sometimes. But knowing what we know, that a pay cut could have been on the table then. They could have came to Dez and said, Dez, what about half of what you're making? What about $4 million? What about 3+ incentives? They said, we're releasing you. So we knew then coming back was not an option, Skip, because if they wanted Dez, they could have said, Dez, Skip, if they'd offered Dez $6 million, he'd take it because he wants to stay a Cowboy.
Would he?
Yes.
Well, that would hurt his pride, and he's got huge pride too.
His pride was centered around being 88 with that star on his helmet. A lot of that pride came from that because you remember what he said, Skip, it don't seem right if I ain't in the Cowboy uniform.
Correct. Well, but if Jerry comes to him and says, you got to take $6 million, wouldn't Dez first say, pride up?
No.
Let me go on the open market. I'll show you $6 million on the open market. I'll show you $12 million.
Well, maybe if at the beginning, but at the juncture of when he was released, he knew $12 million. He knew 10. Basically, he was going to get what Hearns got, $6 million. That seemed to be the going rate. The Paul Richardson, the Crabtree, the Jordy Nelson, they were somewhere in that $6 to $7 million range, Skip. So that was going to be the going market for Dez Bryant at that point. Now, maybe if he, at the start of free agency, he said, well, okay, Jerry, let me go do this, because that's what Ozzie told me. Ozzie said, we're going to release you, going to give you an opportunity. He said, now, if you don't get what you like out there, circle back.
Okay. Well, Jerry obviously didn't tell Dez to circle back.
He didn't say circle back. And he said, now, obviously, we can't pay you what you're making now, but we could probably come in half of that. Well, I took less than that to go back to Denver because, hey, let me just go on back here. Mike, how do you see? You're going to start. We're not going to play you because we don't want to wear you down. Cool, I'm cool with that.
So
but just
your bottom line is that Jerry did him wrong. Like he somehow was the shrewd operator who tried to drag this out through free agency.
Because he saved no more money against the cap by releasing him 6 weeks later than he would had he released him 6 weeks earlier. That's my own. So what benefit did Jerry gain from this?
I don't know.
He got to a point where he felt like he could let him go.
Yep, I'm happy.
No mercy. We're 1 day away from the NFL draft, and we're joined now by Matt Leinart. Matt, welcome back.
Hi.
Good.
What's up, guys?
Oh,
how are you?
Good.
Skip, let me start with you. NFL.com spoke to executives around the league, and they ranked Sam Darnold as a top quarterback. Should he be?
So, Mr. Leinart, I have heard you talk about your fellow USC quarterback, and I've heard you rave about him, and I understand that because he is a great young man.
Yep.
You have gotten to know him,
Yep.
I would say, a pretty good
Yeah.
amount.
Yeah.
Good amount of time around him. And yet, I have, as I step back from his resume, concerns that are turning into alarm bells. His interceptions went from 9 2 years ago to 13 last year. His sacks went from 6 to 29. He led college football last year with 8 fumbles lost, and he had 5 fumbles lost the year before. Not good signs because often that degree of turnovers will translate into pro football turnovers.
Yep.
Percentage of completion dropped from 67% to 63% last year. Not terrible, but just slightly alarming. So he had the great Rose Bowl 2 years ago, and then I thought he was really great in the Texas game, which I watched from start to finish. You were there that night at the Coliseum. It was the 3rd game of the year, and he brought them from behind with a couple of sensational throws, double overtime win. But Texas finished 7-6, so I don't know if we can read too much into it. I was sold on Sam at that point until the turnover machine started happening. So I ask you, is it possible that the great guy, the great kid, is too great a kid where he tries too hard? He's forcing things, trying to will his team into national rankings that they couldn't live up to because I don't think they were quite as good as a lot of people thought. Was he trying to live up to Heisman billing? Was he just trying too hard to make things happen?
I think he was trying too hard. I think when you look at Sam, he kind of came out of nowhere from the year before. We're like, wow, this is Sam Darnold. He was going to be the projected #1 pick. And I had a chance to sit down with him and interview him going into last season. And you could just tell it felt a little like, I don't want all the attention. I just want to be great. I want to help my team. He is a very unselfish player. I thought the hype and the expectation got to him in a sense where I just thought he tried too hard. Right. And I think that's fair. I think that's a fair assessment. I'm not one to judge, but I think the offensive line had issues all season long. He lost Juju Smith-Schuster, who ended up being a great pro this past year for Pittsburgh. So I thought he'd try to do too much. But for me, you talk about the picks, and we hear this a lot. Deshaun Watson threw a lot of picks in college. Everyone was saying, oh, he threw too many picks. Well, look what he did last year in those 5 or 6 games. He was outstanding. Jameis Winston threw a lot of picks in college, and he's still developing, but I think he's a pretty good pro quarterback. So I'm not the interceptions to me aren't a worry. I think the ball security in the pocket, that's something, when I played in Houston under Gary Kubiak, we had coaches, we practiced ball security every single day. Swipe in the belly, we used to call it, swipe the belly with the ball. So those are things you can just work on and you can get better at. I mean, those are things that aren't as alarming to me. When I look at Sam and why I rave about him, one, he is a great kid. I think he's a leader. I think he's a quiet leader. He's hungry. He's competitive. But he just has the makeup. He has the size, the arm, the mobility, the toughness. He's durable. And he's a guy that's not going to come with any baggage. He's going to walk into a facility.
Yep.
He's going to impress you with his personality. He's a shyer kid. He's quiet, but he's a fierce competitor. And I've been around him and I've seen it. So I think he's the safest one of these guys. And I think he has one of the highest ceilings of these guys as well.
I believe Darnold should be the number 1 pick, Skip. But all these guys have major issues.
Yep.
Darnold with the turnovers. Allen, what about the competition? What about his accuracy?
Yep.
What about his performance on the field? Look at Mayfield, maturity issues, off the field issues. He's still 6 foot tall. And then Rosen seems to be a guy that thinks a lot of Josh Rosen.
He does.
And he seems to have a very fragile body. So everybody has a major flaw. The guy that we talk about doesn't have a whole lot of these flaws is Lamar Jackson. And he goes like, oh, man, he can't be no quarterback. I mean, I know he won the Heisman, but he threw for, 3,500 yards and 30, but he also ran the ball. So it's always, when it comes to him, it's always but. But we try to find a way. But
I think there's late momentum building on.
I agree with that.
And I would say Lamar Jackson, and I love Lamar Jackson. I love watching him play, and he's intriguing. And I think that's why you see the Patriots, some of these teams, really, really interested, and probably some teams that aren't even talking about it really like him. He's a dynamic athlete. I think he has to get bigger. Again, I was able to sit down with him last year. He's a taller guy, 6'2", 6'3", has the build to get bigger, but he improved passing every single year. He really worked on it. He played under Bobby Petrino, who's running NFL-style pass concepts, so he was able to.
And he's tough on his quarterback.
And he is. He's tough on his quarterbacks. And Lamar Jackson, and I love him in this whole process because he is like, listen, I am not a receiver. I'm a quarterback, and this is what I'm going to do. And maybe 5 years from now, maybe it doesn't work out, but he's a very interesting prospect that's gaining late momentum, but no one is really talking about him. I really like him.
You see Mary Kay Cabot's reporting that the number one
Cleveland.com.
Cleveland.com, that basically is like Allen and Baker Mayfield.
The Browns are deciding between Baker Mayfield and Josh Allen. So Darnold's not, according to her report, in the discussion now.
This is that would be dangerous to me. Cleveland has to get this right. And again, there's no guarantees. I mean, we understand this. There's no guarantee. You have to fall in love with a guy, you pick him, and you hope he's your guy for the next 10 years. I think Josh Allen, to me, is a project a lot like Lamar Jackson. I look at the accuracy issues, like you said, Shannon, the competition. I understand that, but if you're a number 1 pick, look at Carson Wentz a couple years ago, right? He was a baller. He dominated at North Dakota State and the competition. You could tell it really jumped out on film with Josh Allen. It's just the big wow arm. It's like, wow, that's impressive. But it just doesn't jump out at me.
As you know, I'm an Oklahoma fan, but I watched every snap Baker Mayfield played for the Sooners, and he played at a high level for a long time. Statistically, just in pure performance, he performed above these other 4 quarterbacks in pure numbers.
Absolutely.
He is a careful risk taker because he looks like he's risking plays, but he doesn't throw picks. He's 41 touchdowns to only 6 interceptions last year and led college football in QBR, total QBR, 2 straight years. That's you can't sniff at that, but you can the height and you can the baggage.
Right.
I got it. But I get why Hugh Jackson, I believe if Hugh has the call in Cleveland, he's just saying, I can't teach and coach what Baker Mayfield has inside him because he's as competitive as your guy.
And I'm with you. I'm a big fan, covered in the last couple of years. Yeah. He is, we used to say decision-making, timing, and accuracy were the 3 most important things. He's got all of those better probably than all the other quarterbacks.
Yep.
He is small. Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, that's the comparison.
I've
stood up to him, and he's big. He's built. He's stout. What is 6'1"? I mean, he's 6'1" in cleats. I mean, listen, it's not the worst thing. He plays with that competitive fire. He's a system guy. He's going to have to go in if it's Cleveland or New York. We talk about the RPOs and the way the systems are changing in the NFL, where they have to adapt to these college quarterbacks. And I would just look at the Rams, perfect example. Baker Mayfield, kind of like a Jared Goff. Jared Goff comes into Jeff Fisher. Jeff Fisher wasn't changing for anybody.
No.
We thought Jared Goff was a bust after 1 year. McVay comes in and is like, listen, I'm going to make you the best quarterback, and I'm going to do what you do well, and I'm going to build your skill set and have talented guys around you. And look at Jared Goff. I mean, it's Baker Mayfield has to go to a coach like that that's willing to implement that type of system to fit Baker Mayfield. But the maturity issue is definitely a concern. I think he loves football. I've spoken to Lincoln Riley about it. Lincoln Riley said he's a football junkie.
Yep.
He's a great teammate. Will he be a distraction? I don't know. We'll see. But I think
Wouldn't you agree that OU Lincoln Riley offense was fairly complex?
Yeah, those, and it's complex, and the RPOs and what Baker Mayfield is doing, he's reading the whole field, and his timing, his arm, he's got an above average arm, he's got a very good arm, and the fact that he's so small, but you talk about these smaller quarterbacks, it's arm angles, it's finding the lanes, it's moving a little bit in the pocket to make sure you can throw through those guys. He's very good at that, and the thing is too, Ohio State game, Georgia game in the Rose Bowl, he was awesome against elite talent, because they talk about Big 12 defenses and guys are wide open, and I get that. But he balled, like you said, on the biggest stage. He was at his best.
Well,
it'll be interesting.
If Cleveland doesn't take Sam Darnold, what will be really interesting is who does take Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
What if we have a situation like in '99, Tim Couch, Donovan McNabb, Akili Smith, Cade McCown, and Dante Culpepper? Out of those 5, we got 1.5 quarterbacks. Donovan McNabb and Culpepper could have been a little better had he not suffered that injury. But the other 3 were whitewashes. So
I was covering the Bears then, and I was campaigning against Cade McNown. I just didn't like him. Did you cross his? No,
when I was growing up, I was a UCLA fan because of Cade McNown.
Oh, wow.
So,
but he was the classic college quarterback.
He was great. Lefty. They had a great team. Him, J.J. Stokes, all those guys. Yeah.
So it's going to be very, very. They better hope this is '83 draft as opposed to the '99 draft, Skip.
Well, I mean, it would be almost a miracle if all of them turned out to be
there's like
franchise quarterbacks.
There's less than 10 elite quarterbacks in every year. I mean, it's hard to find one. So it could be 1 out of 5. It might not be any of them.
The Browns just,
Well, the Browns better hope they get that one.
I was going to say
the Browns better get the one. Whoever it is, the Browns better.
Can you imagine that long list keeps going?
Yeah. Yes, I think everyone's imagining that. Thanks for joining us.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. We're back at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports, one of one.